The following is a fan-based discussion. All properties discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Hasbro, and Subaru Productions. Hello everyone! Welcome back to Tokucast, episode number 116.
This is going to be short. I'm just going to let you know this beforehand. Will it be Wind Spectre short? It's yet to be seen.
We will see.
Today, we're talking about Justiriser.
Genseishin Justiriser, which it already has an advantage over the last one in that its title is much more easy to say.
And there's a lot less people.
It has a better script, and I want you to put an asterisk about the size of the sun next to that.
Let's talk about the opening, as we usually do.
Honestly, the opening's fine.
It's okay.
It's
I
fine.
don't like when they do the chanting. Genseishin Justiriser. I don't know what I just automatically hate.
Probably because it's a weird series of words to chant.
Plus, it's like weirdly very 90s. Like, it reminds me of like a 90s...
When did this come out?
2000 and something. 2004, 05? Yeah. 04 to 05. But it reminds me for some reason like 90s commercial.
The only thing it's missing is the narration. Get your new action figures here at Toys R Us.
I don't want these action figures.
So
except maybe the blue mess.
So where the heck do we start?
Do an overview because
that's all we can do. That's really all we can do.
Completely utterly honest here. I got so bored.
I don't blame you.
Watching this show, and I phased out halfway through.
I've said this before, I believe, on streams. I've probably said it in other views, but this is the kind of show that I hate to review the most.
Yeah.
It is neither engagingly good nor amusingly or enragingly bad.
Yeah.
It's not like a show like Build gives us a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
A show like X-Aid gives us a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
A show like Lupat gives us a lot to talk about.
This
is just... It's like trying to eat a container of styrofoam.
Or like a plain bagel.
Like a plain whole wheat bagel. Like a plain whole wheat bagel that you got from the grocery store, not an actual bagel place.
Ugh.
That you reheated in the toaster and realized you ran out of butter, but you're running late for work and you need to eat something.
And you got no cream cheese.
No cream cheese, no regular cheese, no eggs, no onions. No locks.
I never actually had locks.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah, we've
good stuff.
I was bored.
So there are 3 characters.
Later becoming 4.
They are. We'll just leave it at 3 for now because honestly, they're the only ones we're talking about. But we have 2 high school students. One is in college. Mm-hmm. Long ago on Earth, there was a big intergalactic conflict between 2 warring factions. And I guess you could say the evil emperor of the other side, Lord Hades, Kaiser Hades, whatever you want to call him, was sealed away. And if he returns, then the world shall be destroyed.
They don't do a very good job of explaining exactly how he got sealed away because it made it seem like he got blown up in the opening.
But apparently not. And honestly, the way this show starts out is not bad if it feels a little bit too much like the big kids or like the little kids are trying to fit in with the big kids. Yeah. And I say that because it feels like they tried to make this show very cinematic, but on a budget that did not allow for such a thing.
The budget.
Every time slow motion is used,
which is so often,
it happens. I'm not going to say so often, but it happens too often that it becomes noticeable. Every time slow motion is used, it's like frame cutting. Instead of actual slow motion, it's like that.
Yeah, it's like, you know how, especially, I think pretty much all the Jackie Chan movies, Who Am I? They, filmed it a certain way and, cut frames back to speed up the action. Mm-hmm. They do the opposite here. And it really doesn't work.
It doesn't work. I mean, in the first scene, the lacrosse game where Yuka, our female Justiriser, is going around and moving across the field, but it's it's like you're watching a slideshow. They cut too much.
I can understand, yeah, because there is a stylistic choice and a way to do that, but they don't do it correctly. So,
and I can tell what they were going for. Again, they wanted to make this more cinematic, but it just doesn't show up well. And it's that like high frame rate that Genseisher had.
Yeah,
it's not as bad here. Because I think overall, the look of this show is better than the last one.
They did a lot better with the lighting.
Yeah, that's true. This show could have been 30 episodes.
Yes.
I think it could have been 25 episodes even, because about
maybe no
10 minutes of every episode is dedicated to an action scene.
And okay, I'll talk about that.
Oh, go ahead. I had thoughts too, but you go first.
I've been watching a lot of Jackie Chan this past week, a lot of just martial arts movies.
Fair enough. Drunken Master for the win.
But watching this, the action, you could tell they didn't have a lot of time. Because the action feels incredibly stilted.
It feels so slapdash.
There's like waiting. You can tell that things are waiting.
I missed my mark. I've got to hold my place here, or you guys stand here and then you run into frame. It'll look cool. It feels improvised, but by people who don't have the training
to do this kind of stuff.
Because to go back to your point, you look at Jackie Chan or one of his
I know that's sort of unfair,
or one of his contemporaries like Donnie Yen or
Sammo Hung,
Iko Uwais. You look at these guys, and
speaking of which, found out that Sammo Hung, remember that fight in Ip Man 2 when they're fighting on the table?
Yeah, great fight.
Sammo Hung choreographed that. He choreographed almost all of Ip Man 1 too. That's the guy that he fought on the table.
Right.
That's amazing. Anyway, back to
this. Where was I? Oh yeah, but there are a lot of fight scenes, not a lot, but some of them that are improvised. And sometimes you can tell when they're improvised in modern day fight scenes, but they are done by people and they are shot in such a way that it still feels like it's part of the action.
Yes.
This, and I really don't want to mean this as an insult, but it feels like it's kids messing around with a video camera.
Yeah.
It feels like because a lot of these fights, they take place in it's like fields, woods. There's not a lot of...
Which is cool.
Which is nice. It's nice for a change of scenery that we're not getting the same city and industrial environments. But at the same time, it's like it feels like people, they got dad's camcorder and they went out to the woods and we're going to put some costumes on and we're going to play pretend, which is fine.
Speaking of pretend,
if that's actually what's happening. But in a professional production like this, it just feels really cheap.
Speaking of pretend,
yeah,
the CGI in this, especially on the finishers,
the CGI didn't really bother me.
No, it bothered me because for some reason, like whenever they did a finisher, especially because it always seemed like Gien was always the one who actually finished something off.
Nah, that's the red one.
Yeah, when it happens to the blue and black ones, it's like their finishers, I'm going to put that in hard quotes, don't do anything.
Action scenes, they drag on for so long.
And they're so boring because they're not well done.
They're not well choreographed. They're not particularly well shot. The characters themselves aren't bad. And I think the acting is okay.
I didn't care about them.
And I have to talk about the plot for a second. For the first several episodes, and they keep building up Kaiser Hades and how when he returns, it will
destroy everything.
That's it, game over.
Game over, man.
But then he gets summoned and that doesn't happen.
They built up way too much and they didn't have enough to pay off. And then the second half happens.
If you summon Cthulhu, then it's game over. There's no off switch. Don't build this up if it's not going to be like that.
Yeah, because then it's like the second half comes in after the Kaiser is defeated, and then his brother or something from another planet.
If that's what happens, because I'm going to be honest, this whole show is a blur.
I don't blame you, and I'm mostly getting that because I'm just reading it.
You're reading it, yeah. But it's 51 episodes long, 52 if you count the special, and
it's not worth it.
No.
And I'm happy that Toho only has one left. That we have, which apparently is very different because it's more comedy based.
At least there's Godzilla.
And the guy who played Ramirez in Ryusoulger, that's where he got his start.
Oh, cool.
So I'm excited to see him. But this show, not T.
I think the suits are okay.
Okay, I want to talk about this. The suits.
Okay, go ahead.
The actual suits are fine. When they transform, what is the point of the cape?
Because they wanted to have something stylish and cool.
It doesn't look good because the shoulders are so big on 2 out of 3 of them. and they just throw them off immediately so they don't serve a purpose. I want to talk about one mech.
I would like to talk about all the mechs, actually. They feel pointless.
They really do.
Also, that's Dragon Zord.
Or Mechagodzilla.
It looks like that, but reskinned.
Rise are all shit.
But this one in particular you want to talk about.
Well, you're right. Let's talk about all 3. The one with the Phoenix, it's too much Genseisher. It's like nothing changed between the 2. And I appreciate it more in Genseisher because they actually had to go out and search for it.
None of the mech fights are interesting.
No, they're not.
And they go on for way too long.
Yes, they do.
Like every fight in
yes.
the show.
It's mostly, I'm just like, I appreciate it more.
Every episode, it's like you get 11 minutes of talking, maybe a little bit of in-suit fighting, or out-of-suit fighting, or running away from stuff, and then big monster shows up, we gotta fight it, minions on the ground, mechs are fighting the big guy, and that goes on for 12 minutes, and it feels like it happens every episode.
What makes it worse is like I said, I appreciate it a lot more in Genseisher because they actually had to go out and search for one. Mm-hmm. So it made that portion a bit more interesting. This time they're just given. But yeah, the first one, the Phoenix one, it looks too similar to what we just had. So there's like no change. I'm going to skip to the blue one. The blue one came too late. Mm-hmm. It took way too long to get there. And I don't understand why hers took the longest. It looks the best. Mm-hmm. It looks a little bit like a Zoid who's standing up, and I hate the head. The head's a little bit too squashed. But the main one that looks like whoever came up with the design for this should be taken out back and shot. That's harsh. It's true. Is the black one. Hokey. It looks so bad. And it moves so terribly because it's like section here. Really small waist. So small. So small. And then you got the entirety of the bottom. You're just sitting. And it's so weird because it really can't move that well. It's just also really, really ugly. It's so ugly.
It is extremely ugly.
It's
the legs are too wide. It doesn't look like it has a good center of gravity.
No, it doesn't. Because you can see the guy, whoever's in it,
wobbling back. It looks like if you were to get in that, you'd just fall over immediately.
I'm pretty sure the guy did. He's dead now.
Like, it never got past stage 1 of concept art.
And for some reason, they approved it. And I'm just sitting here like, no. But yeah, this mech, especially because of the fact that the dragon turns upside down, the face of it becomes the crotch. And then the rest of it happens. And then the tail is a cannon now. It's just, it's honestly one of the worst mechs I've seen in a very long time.
Not just from a design standpoint, but from a practicality standpoint as well.
It is.
Practicality in terms of filming and getting that thing onto set and moving around in it.
It isn't practical. It's just garbage.
Yeah.
This show is, I honestly don't know if I like this more or less than Genseisher because I didn't care about anybody in this show. Not even Sid. This is where Sid from Gaim starts.
I like it more than Genseisher. Or Genseisher, however the heck you pronounce it. I like it more than that because I feel like the fat was trimmed in a few key places.
Maybe,
but the script is still really bad, and it's like, okay, well, the Genseisher script had no idea how to handle that many characters, and then this one can barely handle 4.
I'm really happy.
6 is like the total number of heroes we have at the end, but
yeah, and also I hate the term "just the power." I really don't like it. Something about it just ticked me off almost 90 immediately. It's like when you end up coming up with an arbitrary term for the power set that you're using, make it either sound a little bit better or make it so it doesn't become like pedantic and you just saying it so often. I have to use Justipala so often throughout the show itself. So I'm just sitting here like, what does this mean? I translated it to garbage. And I'm really happy that Sazar X is only 38 episodes.
Oh, that's nice.
That'll be...
I can't think of anything else to say, but join us for our next review of
Ryusoulger.
Of Ryusoulger.
The only thing I'm excited to talk about there is the Lupat Ryu movie. Because I actually really like that crossover.
Well, okay then. And who knows, it could be good. We'll see. I'll go in with an open mind like I always try to do. But until then, follow us on all the things. Hope you enjoyed us ranting.
And being sad.
And being, well, unhappy at least. But thank you all. Join us next time for Ryusoulger. And until then, thank you for watching.